Hello, English learners, and welcome back to the Real English Podcast.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily.
And I'm Jack.
Have you ever had a strong feeling about a decision at work, Jack?
Yeah, like a sudden gut feeling?
Exactly, even when the numbers say something completely different.
Oh, definitely. I actually had that happen last week.
Really? What did you do?
I told my team I just felt a subtle red flag.
That's interesting. Did they listen to you?
Not at first. They wanted hard data.
Right? That's always a big challenge.
So today, we're talking about exactly that.
Yes, this is an advanced lesson for all of you,
We're going to explore how to defend your intuitive decisions.
especially in very data-driven environments.
Why is this so useful for real life, Emily?
Because sometimes you just know something without concrete proof,
Yeah, we usually call that a hunch.
right? But explaining a hunch to your boss is really hard.
It takes advanced language to sound professional in those moments.
You need subtle words to validate your gut feelings.
Exactly. You want to sound smart, not just emotional.
Good point. It's really about unconscious pattern recognition.
Are you ready to learn how to do this?
I'm ready. Let's move right into the vocabulary preview.
Visceral. This is a great word for a very strong gut feeling.
Exactly. It means something you feel deep inside your body.
Right. Not in your logical brain. Have you ever had a visceral reaction to a project?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes a plan looks great on paper, but my stomach just says no.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's hard to explain that to a boss, right?
Very hard. But using the word visceral makes it sound much more professional.
Good point. It turns a basic physical feeling into a serious business observation.
Tentative. We use this word when we aren't completely sure yet.
Yeah, it's a perfect word for hedging your statements.
What do we actually mean by hedging, Jack?
It means protecting yourself in case you're wrong about something.
Right? So a tentative conclusion is just a safe starting point?
Exactly. It shows your team you're still gathering more data.
I use it all the time when my hunch needs more proof. Have you tried that?
Same here. It buys you some extra time to figure things out, doesn't it?
It really does. It takes the pressure off.
Intangible. This describes something you know is real, but you can't physically touch it.
Right? Or you can't measure it easily with numbers. Why does that happen at work?
Well, human behavior is complex. A good team vibe is intangible, for example.
That's a great example. Have you ever noticed a subtle warning sign too?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes a client's tone of voice is an intangible red flag.
Exactly. You recognize the pattern, but how do you prove it?
You can't, because there's no hard data yet.
Right? Calling it an intangible factor really helps validate that feeling.
It really does. It sounds much better than just saying you're guessing.
Now that we have our vocabulary, up next is our dialogue section.
So, what did you think of the presentation?
Honestly, I have some doubts about their team.
Really? Their performance numbers look fantastic on paper.
Yeah, the data is strong, but I had a visceral reaction to their pitch.
Oh, really? What bothered you about it?
They dodged my questions about customer support. It just felt wrong.
Good point. They were pretty vague about that.
Exactly. Plus, their whole launch schedule is completely tentative.
I see. You think they might delay our project?
I do. We really can't afford to miss this deadline.
That makes sense. How do we explain this to the director?
We should highlight the hidden risks. Trusting them feels like a gamble.
Yeah, it's hard to measure reliability. It's a very intangible quality.
Right? But that intangible risk could ruin our workflow. I've seen this before.
That's interesting. I didn't notice those red flags at all.
Sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story.
Very true. Let's dig deeper into their past client reviews.
That was a great conversation about trusting your gut.
Yeah, it really is a tough topic for a lot of people.
It is hard to defend your feelings at work, right?
Exactly. You need the right vocabulary to explain yourself clearly.
So let's break down some of the advanced words we just used.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
First, we use the phrase visceral reaction.
Right? A visceral reaction. It sounds pretty intense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It means a deep physical feeling.
Like a sudden feeling in your stomach?
Exactly. You feel it in your gut, not your brain.
I get that sometimes during job interviews. Something just feels off.
Have you ever tried to explain that to your boss?
It's really hard to do. You just say it's a visceral reaction.
That leads us to our next phrase. We mentioned red flags.
Oh, right. Red flags are basically warning signs.
Yeah, they signal danger or a hidden problem.
Why do we call them red flags?
Think about lifeguards at the beach. A red flag means stop.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. It means danger.
We use it constantly in business and relationships now.
Like high staff turnover is a huge red flag.
Definitely. Next up is the word tentative.
I think I said my plan was completely tentative.
What exactly does that mean to you?
It means I'm not sure yet. It can easily change.
Right? It's the opposite of permanent or final.
Do you use this word very often?
Yeah, I use it a lot when scheduling meetings.
Oh, I see. Like setting a tentative date for next week.
Exactly. Finally, we talked about an intangible quality.
That's a really great phrase for advanced learners.
What makes a quality intangible, Jack?
Well, it means you can't touch it or measure it with data.
Right. It's something you notice but can't easily describe.
Like a person's natural leadership style?
Yes, exactly. The hard numbers don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, you really need to look at those intangible qualities too. We just talked about some great words for intuition.
Yeah, we covered some really useful advanced vocabulary.
Exactly. But how do we actually use those ideas at work?
Good question, because you might not want to sound too emotional.
Right. So what's a professional way to share a gut feeling?
I usually say my initial instinct is to do something.
Oh, that sounds very confident, and I really like it.
Yeah, it works really well in our team meetings.
What about spotting a warning sign like a big issue?
You mean instead of just calling it a warning sign?
Yes. How do you point that out politely to people?
I often say something doesn't sit right with me.
That's a great phrase because it softens the criticism, right?
It really does soften it. Have you ever used that one?
Yeah. I actually used it last week with a new vendor.
Good point. What if you just feel unsure about a plan?
You mean when you want to take things slowly?
Exactly right. How do you express that careful feeling?
I usually tell my team I'm hesitant to move forward.
That's very clear. And it keeps the conversation professional.
Yeah, it certainly does. What about those hidden, unmeasurable qualities?
Are you talking about the things that are hard to describe clearly?
Right. So how do you talk about a feeling like that?
I usually say I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, I really love that expression because it's so natural.
It really is natural. Shall we break these patterns down?
That is a good idea. Let's look at building these phrases. Let's listen to the dialogue one more time, paying close attention to those visceral, tentative, and intangible elements as we hear how an intuitive hunch is defended in a data-driven workplace.
So, what did you think of the presentation?
Honestly, I have some doubts about their team.
Really? Their performance numbers look fantastic on paper.
Yeah, the data is strong, but I had a visceral reaction to their pitch.
Oh, really? What bothered you about it?
They dodged my questions about customer support. It just felt wrong.
Good point. They were pretty vague about that.
Exactly. Plus, their whole launch schedule is completely tentative.
I see. You think they might delay our project?
I do. We really can't afford to miss this deadline.
That makes sense. How do we explain this to the director?
We should highlight the hidden risks. Trusting them feels like a gamble.
Yeah, it's hard to measure reliability. It's a very intangible quality.
Right? But that intangible risk could ruin our workflow. I've seen this before.
That's interesting. I didn't notice those red flags at all.
Sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story.
Very true. Let's dig deeper into their past client reviews.
Well, hearing that dialogue again really highlights Sarah's intuition.
Yeah, it changes the perspective completely. What did you think?
The data looked perfect, but she noticed those subtle red flags.
Exactly. Dodging questions is a huge warning sign for me.
It really is. I've ignored that before and regretted it later.
Me too. It's so hard to explain that intangible feeling.
Right? How do you usually explain a feeling like that?
I tried to do what Sarah did. She defined the hidden risks well.
She sure did. She made her intuition sound completely logical.
Now it's your turn to practice these advanced expressions.
That's right. Speaking them out loud builds real speaking confidence.
We've selected some of the best sentences from Sarah for you.
Please listen closely and repeat each phrase right after she speaks.
Are you ready to master these new phrases? Let's go.
I had a visceral reaction to their pitch. They dodged my questions about customer support. It just felt wrong. Plus, their whole launch schedule is completely tentative. Trusting them feels like a gamble. But that intangible risk could ruin our workflow. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story.
You did a really great job with that practice session today.
Yes, fantastic work. Keep using those new phrases at work.
Trusting your gut is actually a crucial skill in modern business.
And now you finally have the right vocabulary to defend it.
If you found this episode helpful, please like and share it.
Yeah, sharing really helps us reach more advanced learners like you.
Please make sure to subscribe to our channel for more lessons.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
We will definitely see you again in the next video.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care and trust your instincts out there.